Sean "Diddy" Combs is facing serious legal troubles, with multiple allegations, including sexual misconduct and witness tampering. These accusations are escalating, with Diddy allegedly attempting to control the narrative from behind bars, using third-party phone calls to reach potential witnesses. These actions have only fueled the prosecution's case, making things worse for him. Diddy's legal team is reportedly in turmoil, with his frustrated lawyer quitting due to the overwhelming nature of the charges. Diddy is also under investigation for breaking prison rules by contacting victims and trying to persuade them to retract their statements. This case has drawn significant media attention, particularly after a leaked phone call, which made the public more aware of his tactics. His legal situation is becoming increasingly dire, with prosecutors using these calls as further evidence of obstruction of justice. Things took a dramatic turn when one of Diddy's phone calls from jail was leaked online, igniting a social media frenzy. The leaked audio revealed him asking his sons to help clean up evidence and manage his legal mess.
I entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
An action that could lead to obstruction charges for his children if they comply. This has caused a significant backlash, as it paints Diddy not as a caring father, but as someone willing to involve his kids in his desperate attempts to avoid legal consequences. The call quickly went viral, further tarnishing his image and making people question his priorities. Instead of gaining sympathy, Diddy's actions have made things worse, with the leaked audio only strengthening the case against him. This has left his legal team scrambling to contain the damage, while the public's perception of Diddy continues to shift from a mogul on top of the world to a man caught in a spiraling downfall. In a bid to manage the growing backlash, Diddy's camp has tried to paint him as a devoted father, struggling with the pain of being separated from his children. They've fed the media tearful narratives about his concern for their well-being, attempting to portray his jail situation as heartbreaking. However, the leaked phone call undermines this image, revealing that Diddy's focus is far more on saving himself than protecting his kids. The public is seeing through this transparent attempt at damage control, and it's only fueling the growing fire around him. As his legal troubles intensify, Diddy's once glamorous empire, built on fame and fortune, now appears to be crumbling. His behavior behind bars and his apparent disregard for the law have only made things worse. With his reputation in tatters, Diddy's legal team is on the defensive, trying to minimize the fallout while the evidence against him continues to mount. While Diddy scrambles to manage his legal mess, 50 Cent is making strategic moves from the sidelines. For years, 50 has been calling out Diddy for questionable behavior. But now, with the truth about Diddy's misconduct finally coming to light, 50's predictions are proving to be spot on. He's been the one voice in the public eye that warned of Diddy's potential downfall. And as the allegations against Diddy grow more serious, 50 Cent is relishing his moment. His patience and persistence in waiting for Diddy's empire to crack are paying off. 50 Cent isn't just sitting back and enjoying the drama unfold, he's taking advantage of the situation. As Diddy faces his darkest days, 50's career is thriving. While Diddy is bogged down in court cases and scandal, 50 is continuing to succeed, with his Las Vegas residency and business ventures moving full steam ahead. This ongoing rivalry, which has spanned decades, is now more than just a feud. It's become a battle for legacy, and 50 is positioning himself as the victor. As the legal storm around Diddy intensifies, his list of accusations keeps growing, and it's starting to look like his empire may never recover. With over 20 lawsuits filed against him, including shocking claims of sexual assault, witness tampering, and other predatory behaviors, the weight of these allegations is becoming impossible to ignore. The shocking reports about minors, coerced silence, and disturbing videotapes, some allegedly even involving high-profile celebrities, are quickly turning Diddy from a mogul to a symbol of Hollywood's darker side. Legal experts are saying that the consistency and long-running nature of these allegations present a near-impossible defense for Diddy. It's no longer about isolated incidents. The pattern of abuse is mounting. His defense team is struggling to keep up with the flood of evidence against him, and with public pressure mounting, it's hard to imagine how he can come out unscathed. As the case continues to unfold, the specter of more arrests and a broader investigation looms large, threatening to expose the deepest corners of Hollywood's underbelly. The Diddy scandal is casting a long shadow over Hollywood, raising uncomfortable questions about the culture of complicity that has allowed such behavior to persist for decades. As more victims come forward, the revelations are shaking the industry to its core. High-profile figures like Demi Moore, Usher, and even Diddy's close associates are being implicated in a web of silence and enabling that spans far beyond just Diddy himself. These individuals, allegedly complicit in facilitating or turning a blind eye to his actions, are now facing the reality that their involvement may soon be exposed. The case is revealing just how entrenched these practices are in Hollywood, where the power dynamics have often protected the abusers while silencing victims. Celebrities who were once untouchable now find themselves under intense scrutiny, with their careers potentially on the line. The investigation is growing wider, with rumors swirling that more arrests could be on the horizon. As the FBI deepens its probe, the list of those who may be called to testify continues to expand. The dark side of Hollywood, once hidden behind the glitz and glamour, is now being dragged into the light, and the fallout could be catastrophic for many in the industry. As the clock ticks down, Diddy's looming legal battles are about to explode in full force. With more than 200 victims reportedly coming forward, the scale of the fallout is terrifying. The combination of civil lawsuits and federal investigations is creating an explosive cocktail of legal peril. The sheer number of victims, paired with the disturbing nature of the allegations, makes it increasingly clear that the consequences for Diddy, and those tied to him, could be devastating. The question now is who will be next? Celebrities, influencers, and even powerful industry figures who once aligned themselves with Diddy are sweating it out, wondering if they will be implicated in these scandalous affairs. As prosecutors continue to gather evidence and witnesses testify, it's only a matter of time before the full extent of the damage is revealed. Hollywood is bracing for impact, and those who have skirted the law in the past are now facing the very real possibility of being named and shamed. Given the gravity of the charges, it's unlikely that this trial will be televised, but the civil cases are already sending shockwaves through the industry. The ongoing lawsuits will continue to uncover names, incidents, and stories that were once buried. This is not just about one man's downfall. It's the unraveling of a broken system that has enabled abuse to flourish unchecked for far too long. As the legal clock runs out, it's becoming increasingly clear that Diddy and many others may not be able to escape the fallout from these explosive revelations. As the accusations continue to mount, Diddy's once glittering empire is rapidly disintegrating. What was once the epitome of success, his influence in music, fashion, and pop culture, is now overshadowed by a torrent of legal and moral failures. Diddy's power, once a shield against public scrutiny, is no longer enough to protect him. The shocking details of his alleged actions are dismantling his legacy, and his once dominant position in Hollywood now appears fragile at best. The empire he built on fame, fortune, and the image of the bad boy mogul is now crumbling under the weight of over 20 lawsuits, each one piling on more disturbing allegations of assault, exploitation, and abuse. Diddy's once untouchable status is fading, and it's becoming clear that the public's perception of him is shifting from that of a legendary entrepreneur to a man whose alleged predatory behavior has left irreparable scars. As his legal team scrambles to salvage what's left of his reputation, the mounting evidence against him paints a grim picture. The long-standing rumors, whispers, and accusations that 50 Cent and others have been vocal about for years are now seeing the light of day. Diddy's empire is no longer just facing legal jeopardy. It's a full-blown crisis of credibility and morality. His future, once secure in the world of wealth and influence, now hangs in the balance, with the possibility that this scandal will define him for the rest of his life. The man who once seemed untouchable is learning the hard way that no amount of money or power can shield you from the consequences of your actions. As the investigation into Diddy's alleged actions continues, the implications of his case are sending shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. The stories that have been buried for years are finally emerging, and with them, a long-awaited sense of accountability. The legal battles are only just beginning, but the floodgates have been opened, and there's no going back now. The ongoing federal investigation has the potential to expose a network of individuals complicit in enabling Diddy's alleged misconduct. High-profile figures, once untouchable in the eyes of the public, may find themselves dragged into this complex web of deceit, exploitation, and cover-ups. The people closest to Diddy, those who facilitated his behavior, overlooked his actions, or turned a blind eye, are now facing scrutiny. Their involvement could have catastrophic consequences, as the FBI reportedly closes in on those who may have aided in perpetuating a culture of abuse and secrecy. For the victims, however, this marks a turning point. As more and more survivors step forward, the strength of their collective voices is impossible to ignore. Diddy may have spent years silencing those who dared to speak out, but now, the tide is turning. The #MeToo movement and growing awareness of power dynamics in Hollywood have created an environment where the truth can no longer be suppressed. Legal experts believe the cases against Diddy, and the mounting evidence against those who were complicit, will eventually force a reckoning that could reshape the industry forever. For Diddy, the reality is sinking in. The walls are closing in, and with every new revelation, his once impenetrable defense is weakening. There is no telling how long this battle will last, but one thing is certain: the truth is on its way to the surface. And when it does, the fallout will not only affect Diddy, but everyone who helped him cover up his alleged actions. The road to justice may be long, but it's clear that no one, no matter how powerful, is untouchable. As Diddy's empire continues to crumble under the weight of these devastating allegations, the fallout from his legal troubles is rippling through the entertainment industry. What once seemed like an untouchable mogul, ruling the airwaves and owning the red carpet, is now facing an uncertain future. The spotlight, which Diddy once basked in, has become a harsh spotlight, exposing every crack in his carefully constructed facade. Hollywood, long known for its secrets and power struggles, is now forced to confront the deep, dark corners of its culture. Diddy's downfall is merely the beginning of a much larger reckoning. The flood of allegations and lawsuits not only threatens his legacy, but casts a shadow over the entire industry. As more victims come forward, the question arises: how many others will be held accountable for the culture of silence and complicity that allowed such behavior to go unchecked for so long? The long-standing fear of blacklisting and retaliation has silenced many, but now the tide is shifting, and more industry insiders are speaking out. The legal ramifications will undoubtedly affect Hollywood's power structures, forcing the industry to reckon with its past. As for Diddy, the path ahead looks grim. His legal team, already struggling to contain the damage, faces the challenge of defending against a barrage of allegations, some of which date back decades. The mounting evidence seems insurmountable, and with high-profile figures like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby already facing consequences for similar accusations, Diddy's legal battles are likely to be just as public and just as destructive. Beyond the criminal charges, the broader cultural implications of this case are profound. The entertainment world, once enamored with the idea of untouchable power, is beginning to shift toward a more transparent, accountable future. While Diddy may still have influence within certain circles, his tarnished reputation could mark the end of an era. For the survivors of his alleged abuse, the journey is only beginning, but the hope for justice has never been stronger. Hollywood's dirty secrets are being exposed, and with them, the faces of those who enabled and protected predators in the name of fame and fortune. This is just the beginning of a story that will continue to unfold, reshaping not only Diddy's legacy, but also the very foundation of the entertainment industry itself.